As a therapist and a school counselor, the conferences and seminars I attend are often loaded with very serious subject matter. We learn current trends and things regarding addiction, suicide, abuse, poverty, some of the most extreme situations. We're offered insights, trends, and hopefully some sort of idea on how to help the people that are suffering or deeply embedded into those worlds. And as I ponder in my mind what works to help in all of these situations, I'm often overwhelmed with compassion fatigue myself, feeling like we're just skimming the surface. So much needs to be done, so much needs to be offered. And that's the truth. The resources are very slim in comparison to the mental health crises and challenges that are being faced by adults and youth in our country and throughout the world. But I do take comfort in knowing that people can change other people's lives. And it's not necessarily going to be through elaborate programs or government mandated ways of going about things. It's going to happen when good people let these children see something new. When we have these kids in our home and we give them a new idea of what normal can look like. And in their mind, they can visualize it and they can start to even imagine what it will look like for them. Something they maybe have never seen before. And while that's a great idea in theory, creating that into a system or an approach is pretty far out of reach for me at this time. There's great things like that, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. There's lots of people implementing programs, but there's something powerful when it just comes from the initiation of a family saying, come and sit in our home. Come see how we do things. And not even because we want you to change your ways, but because you mean something to us. You're valuable to us. You have a sense of belonging here. And a sense of belonging is critical. When we perceive that we belong to a healthy group, our rates of all of those destructive behaviors really decline. And so it's food for thought. On a personal note, my mother was raised in an alcoholic home, and she has never really dwelt on that, nor has she gone into great detail of what that must have been like. But about a year ago, we were helping to clean out a lot of their belongings because they were downsizing, and people were, family members were coming and finding different things that they'd want to keep. And this was a treasure that I found. And this is a little craft project that my mother made that says, greet the day with a song, make others happy, and serve gladly. And she made this in 1959, and you can see her name, Joyce B., on the bottom of this little stitching artwork that she did. And this was folded up. This little piece of work was just folded up amongst some of the other, grander treasures. But when I saw this, I needed to know the story because this fits my mom. This is her motto. This is how she lives her life. And it wasn't necessarily what was taught to her in her home. It was what was taught to her through someone who cared, someone who invited her to be a part of something. And I believe it was a little Girl Scout troop that she was a part of, where she learned and watched and saw what a different normal could look like. And she created that different normal in her life and has been able to be that sense of a healthy norm for so many others. I know there's power in this way of doing things and hope people will have the courage to be a part of that in somebody's life, whether it's a young couple, young married couple who never got to see what healthy marriages look like in their own families, or if it's a younger child. There are so many ways that we can bring a little bit of goodness by helping people have a sense of belonging and see what a healthy experience might look like for them.